fucking 2025 could have at least fucked me nicely. That would have been so great.
Like, girl, have you never seen a horror movie?
She bratted a little too close to the sun.
Then they grab him and throw him in a van. They didn't even offer him candy first. Amateurs.
Absolutely fucking no, thank you. Where
Thank
am I
fuck
going?
your
Is it
mother
at
doesn't
dark?
listen to these.
Hi,
Well,
how are you?
hi.
How goes life?
Oh, you know, I try not to fall asleep in class today.
Yeah, I saw the text message.
I don't even know what day it is. I don't even know what we're doing. I
It's
don't,
Monday.
but like, is this for March?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. This is not a special, right? Yeah, because I did it. Yeah, that's right.
No,
Okay.
specifically, this is for March 7th.
Solid. Okay. Well, hello. Welcome to March
Hello.
then.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Nope, that's the wrong book. Hold on.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Okay, yeah.
If we are off, well, just know it's been a busy week for the both of us with doing things.
Yeah,
So here we
but
are
vacation is on the horizon.
for you,
Hopefully, yeah.
not for
Have
me.
you heard anything about your work and your schedule and all that?
Yeah, well, not a schedule, but I have heard from work. So I signed a contract yesterday or over the weekend because they sent me the offer letter on Wednesday and I apparently missed it.
Oh,
It's in an email that's not in my actual email. So I have to be on like an actual website email. It's like I don't know. It's something, it's not like Gmail or anything. I had to create an email for work. It's like a specific one. So they gave me the offer letter and then I did the drug test this morning and then I have to email over a picture of my driver's license and my social security card, which I need to locate my social security card. I got no idea where that shit is. And then yeah, but I'm hoping that they'll just keep my regular schedule, but I don't know until I talk to them.
now, when are you supposed to start? Do you know?
I have I got no idea. I am
Oh,
assuming that will happen once I start sending over the stuff. So they need all my shit to send
but like,
for.
will it be before the time is up at the other place or no?
No, I'm not going to start. But this is our Wednesday this week is the last day this company's open.
Oh, JK. So you might be on vacation.
I don't know. We'll see. Not when you are. Not when you
Hopefully not.
are.
Hopefully not, but hopefully not. Anyways, yes. So,
Welcome to March, guys.
welcome to
And
March.
we're already starting the month off with Ariel being dead. So here we are.
I
What else is new?
mean,
No,
yeah,
literally,
I'm always dead
there are no
inside, so.
changes. What else is new? My life is has turned around a little bit. So like, that's good.
Mine hasn't, so I guess it's my turn.
Please do not have the luck I had in January
No,
because none of
no.
that I put
That was
on.
my kind of usual luck.
All of it all at once was very overwhelming.
Yes. So this week, for March, this week, we read Wolf by Paisley Hope, and it is a motorcycle club romance, and this one features the president of the motorcycle club.
Yes, it does.
The content warning for this book is violence expected with the life of an outlaw motorcycle club, including, but not limited to, torture, gun violence, murder, discussions of sexual assault of a 16-year-old, nothing descriptive and nothing on page, talk of past occurrence, flashback of domestic abuse, and death of family member, mild alcohol abuse, and drug use. Sexual triggers are not fully listed to conceal plot points and pivotal moments, but are of a darker nature. They include, but are not limited to, blood, breath, and knife play, anal sex, sex in a religious setting, sex that feels ritualistic, consensual non-consent, degradation, borderline captor/captive setting, discussions of life as a marine/traumatic moments. This book also included a glossary at the front, so I will say right off the top, if you are new to motorcycle club romances, this might be a good book for you to get your feet wet with because I would say most of what I have read motorcycle club wise, you just read and use context clues and figure it out on your own.
I'm
But
glad that
this
they
one
included it in the
did,
beginning.
right, have a nice glossary. If you read enough motorcycle club romances, you don't really need to read the glossary. But so I do recommend probably this book for someone who wants to explore that subgenre.
And honestly, I really, really loved the dedication in this book too. It says, to all my good girls who know falling in love with the king of an outlaw motorcycle club doesn't mean your mission in life is to change him. Instead, it is to embrace the wicked inside you and become his badass queen. And I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right. And we open with our FMC Brinley in her boss's office. Her company is closing, so he has to let
Stop.
her go.
We need to stop picking such relevant books. Holy, it has literally been one right after the other after the other. If anyone is not aware, my company that I
Company
worked
is
for
closing.
closes this week. So,
It's one of us in every single book, something ridiculously major.
yeah.
And that's the weird part is though none of these tiny things we knew about before putting them on the wheel. So it's not like we were like, "Oh, bingo card." These books have become our bingo card for the year. And now I'm very scared because I do know some of what else is on there.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
those books. I don't. Mm.
Just yeah. Good luck. Wish us luck and wish us well. Maybe send some positive vibes and thoughts if you don't mind, please, so that we can survive our wheel. That would be great. Thank you. Anywho, yeah, she gets at least 6 weeks severance, and the 4 weeks,
Which is not me. I didn't get 6 weeks severance. I got a ha ha ha. You lose your job.
wouldn't that have been nice to have 6 weeks severance and 4 weeks of vacation to pay out?
I would have loved that. Instead, I just get fucked.
I mean, did you get fucked though?
No, and that's the worst part.
Hold on, let's back that
Okay,
up.
listen,
No.
listen. Here's the thing. If fucking 2025 could have at least fucked me nicely, that would have been so great. And instead, I am
Well,
not having any sex and I am dying.
Brinley's gonna get severance, vacation, and by the end of this, you know she's gonna get fucked. So here we go. Be Brinley. Envious of Brinley. So on her way out of the building, she gets a text from her boyfriend of 2 years, Evan, who is reminding her that he has a surprise for her that night. She is hopeful that it is a proposal. Evan is in his last year of law school, so things have been more distant and strained between them than she would like, but she's ready to get a start on her life. She's ready to begin growing with someone, building a family. And I mean, she's been working with him for 2 years, you might as well, get to it. He picks her up and they go out to dinner. The vibes are definitely not there, I can tell you that. But she seems happy to settle with him, knowing that, she'll get a family. It's, what she wants. So his big surprise, he's been offered a position with an office in New York, across the fucking country.
I hate this man.
Yeah, he accepted this position too, without even a conversation with, again, someone he lives with and has been with for years. When she questions this, because duh, you know, making a decision for them without her, he
Right.
says that he thought she would just stay. Because she thought you're moving us. And he's like, no,
Right.
I thought you would just stay. That he needs to focus and she can just, you know,
I'm just so mad because like
have
she
them
was
visit.
so like thinking that he was gonna propose to her and all this other shit, and
Hmm.
then this is the shit he pulls. Fuck that.
Yeah. So tears start to well because she just can't help it. And she tells him that she thought that he was gonna propose marriage to her. Like she's honest with him. And he tells her that marriage isn't on his radar. Plus, she isn't established enough yet for his family to be able to accept her.
Again, I
So,
hate this man.
like, she's not established, like, socially, in her job. Like, even though her family has money, it's not good enough for his family because, like, he is going to be a lawyer. She is just a designer that isn't even, like, major, like a boss or a partner or something. And I don't
It
mean
sucks
like
because men
fashion.
like this do exist, but they're terrible. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And then, because she's crying in this restaurant, he
You're
tells her
making
to
a
stop making a
scene.
scene. Well, that does it for her. She tells him that she is not waiting around, especially for someone who doesn't think that she's good enough, that she wishes him well in New York, and then she leaves.
She's better than me because I
Which,
would
good on
wish him
her.
dead.
Which, well, good on her because she was kind of a doormat to be with him to begin with. So now it's 2 weeks later, and Brinley has packed all of her belongings and is moving to her parents' house that has sat empty since they passed away. Her aunt had packed up the house and made it so that it was like basically kind of up in storage until somebody was ready to live in it, which is kind of odd to me why they just kind of had it sitting around. But like why she
I
didn't
have
even
no
either move
idea.
there or sell it. I'm just curious about that, but whatever.
I'm wondering if
Anyways,
like she had the option, but like maybe her dumb boyfriend like wouldn't allow her to
or
move in
maybe
there
she's
for some reason.
smart and she wanted it on the back
Maybe.
burner. Like, good thing because now she has it.
You know, I wish that I had that option too. That would
See, because when these
I'm
things
sorry.
happen to you, yeah.
Not bitter at all, guys.
Brinley feels weird being back at home and is procrastinating, so she stops at a bar for a drink and runs into her childhood best friend, Layla. Layla is at the bar for her bachelorette party. Brinley had turned the invitation down months ago because she had previous plans with Evan, but that kind of tells me that Evan had turned it down, honestly. Layla seems to have three bikers hovering over her and her bridal squad. And at Brinley's questioning look, Layla just tells her that they are there to make sure that she and her friends stay safe. She tells Brinley not to judge because both the girls grew up with families that told them to stay far away from all of the bikers because they're bad, bad news. Brinley apologizes, and Layla urges her to hang out with them and catch up. The bikers make her nervous, though, but she agrees because it's good to see Layla and she does want to catch up. They sit and chat, and Brinley tells her all of the new changes. Layla says, fresh start moving then, and it's perfect because now that Brinley's there, she can come to the wedding.
I mean, okay.
Right, Brinley could use a distraction anyways. She could use a little fun. Brinley gives in and agrees to go. The next morning, Brinley wakes to a text from Layla inviting her to lunch Wednesday so that they can have some time before all the wedding stuff to catch up and to get the lowdown on the biker situation so that she's prepared for the wedding. After she says yes, Brinley heads to town. As luck would have it, there's a help wanted sign in a new home store, so she heads in to see if they need design help and put in her resume. Layla's brother even works there. So, awesome sauce. Brinley picks out a new dress for the wedding while in town, stopping at a coffee shop where she sees more bikers. One, a massive dude she can't take her eyes off. The week passes by. Layla and Brinley did have their lunch off page, and Layla told her all about the bikers so that she would hopefully be more comfortable. Newsflash, she's not. But, at least she knows the situation and who's kind of who, and she has some names and faces and stuff. It's kind of like when you watch something and a lot of like those fake dating movies or something, and you watch them prep them with like the pictures and the names. That's kind of how I pictured
Oh,
it
yeah, yeah,
almost
yeah.
because when she walked in, it's almost like she's like, okay, that's who this is. That's who this is. And she was like
Yeah.
cataloging in her brain. That's what I had. Yeah. So Friday brings the rehearsal dinner. Brinley shows up to Layla's house where the ladies are getting ready. Then they all head to the Hounds of Hell clubhouse since Layla's fiance, Sean, is a member. Gabriel, or Wolf, is the MC president and Sean's best friend. He is the one Brinley was eyeing in town the other day, and he, too, was enamored. Enough to have his people look into her. So, when he sees her at the rehearsal party, he has enough information that he figures that he will soon know if she's boring and he can finally stop thinking about her. When they sit down to dinner, Brinley is right across from him. They're getting through toasts when Clubhouse members' phones start buzzing. There's a photo of the stakeout they went to set up for the other day by the coffee shop sent to the phones. Then the entire building shakes as an explosion goes off. Gabriel grabs Brinley as the women are put somewhere safe. Then the men head outside. Through the smoke, they see one of their rival club members. Gabriel manages to shoot his hand as the guy went to shoot them. Then they grab him and throw him in a van. They didn't even offer him candy first. Amateurs.
They wouldn't need to offer me candy. Like, okay.
Books or something?
I just would
Take you
look
away
at
from your
them.
life? Yeah.
Okay.
The women get told that they can come out and resume dinner, that it's safe, but they need to stay there the night and no one can go in or out. Brinley is not thrilled by this. She, along with everyone else, start to drink. Brinley drinks a little too much.
I don't blame her.
Eventually, she heads off to find a bathroom, and on her way back, her nosy ass goes into a room with the light on and the door
Also,
open.
don't blame her, because that'd be me.
It's Wolf's room. Of course, he catches her. He accuses her of being in there on purpose for him. She slaps him. She goes to hit him again when he grabs her throat to stop her. He gives a little squeeze. She finds that she likes this, though. She shouldn't. Gabriel tells her she thinks that she's supposed to fight her desires, but she doesn't want to. He says go ahead and fight him because that's what she was taught. But he will earn his way, and he kisses her neck. He unzips her dress, taking her nipple into his mouth. He tells her to let her body take what it wants. The rougher he is, the more she responds, which is new for her. She's weirded out by this, but loving it. He tears off her underwear, and I keep wanting to call her Brittany. He tears off her underwear, and Brinley surrenders as Gabriel starts to finger her. Just as she comes, they are interrupted by Jake, a member, saying they need Wolf now. He tells her to stay there. Brinley wakes in the morning alone. She calls an Uber. Before she can leave, Layla catches her and tells her that she's coming that night to her wedding, that she knows Brinley, but
Well,
no matter what
she's also
happened,
coming that night.
but
Sorry.
no
I'm
matter
sorry,
what
sorry.
happened the night before, she needs to own it and be there. Brinley agrees, even though that's exactly what she was going to do, duck out, and she heads home. Which I originally thought that no one was allowed to leave until after the wedding, so I'm a little confused about this. But
Mm.
maybe I was just the night. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Brinley figures that she can run errands before she needs to get ready for the sunset wedding. The main one being getting a garage to look at the old truck at the house so she can sell it to help pay to replace the porch. She manages to barely get the truck down to the garage that her neighbor recommended when she learns, surprise, surprise, surprise,
Surprise,
surprise,
surprise.
that it's Wolf's garage
Why are we like this?
to make life fun. He asks her about it and tells her that they can take care of it. She keeps telling him that she would rather go someplace that she's sure is above board. He's like, this woman is basically insinuating that he's a criminal, which he is, but still, how dare she? He's like, not cool. Not cool. Not cool. I really liked that part though.
That was good, yeah.
He tells her she doesn't actually know him, and the garage is, in fact, above board. She asks if she can think about it. He says nope, taking her keys, adding that it's also a safety hazard for her to drive it. Her neighbor pulls in just then to bring her back home. He's 75-ish, so Wolf does end up breathing and allows her to go with him, but he gets her phone number for the job before she goes. Later on, the men have secured the guy that they were actually looking for the other day and have him waiting until they can play later. Brinley gets ready to leave when bikes pull up at her house. Wolf doesn't want her driving alone to the venue. Make sure she's safe and sound and all that. After a lot of bickering, she relents and gets on his bike. He puts a helmet and a jacket on her. She makes a jab at how many other women, have worn that, blah, blah, blah. But he says that this is her first time on a bike and his first time letting a woman on his. He pulls her close to him, tells her to hold on, and then the group of bikes take off. Unknown to the bridal party, they even bring their captives in a truck to the resort as well. They have the ceremony, and Layla's brother Dell walks her down the aisle. Brinley is glad to see him, as she'll have somebody that she knows there to talk to. Layla even seated them at the same table, so cool beans. And as they take their seats, Kai rushes over and tells Brinley that there is now a seat for her at the wedding party table. That Layla insists. Brinley looks up to find Wolf staring at her from said table. Brinley decides not to make a scene and mess up her friend's day, so she goes. Layla is surprised to see her come sit at the table, but happy about it. She's fine. Wolf makes a comment about how she's way too young for Layla's brother's taste.
I
That
just
because they
stand.
know everything about everyone and they know
Yeah.
that Dell has some mommy issues and
I
that
just
Dell
it's so
prefers
funny.
a different age gap.
Well, Dell has some problems.
But it isn't long before one of the men is tapping on Wolf's shoulder and he and his men excuse themselves. Brinley dances and drinks with the ladies. Wolf and the men, aside from Sean, who is in and out checking in on Layla, don't come back in. Around midnight, Brinley needs a break and some fresh air, so she steps outside. The moon is out and it's nice, so she walks a bit. She follows a trail leading to the water, intent to walk in the sand. She just makes it to the beachy area when she hears a cry out in pain, and then another. She sees a cabin tucked into the woods with lights on and moves toward the sounds. Like, girl, have you never seen a horror movie?
Apparently not. Couldn't be
Isn't that like
me.
the first rule?
I mean, yeah.
The door's open, and she can see through the outer screen door. There are two men
Not in like the fun on your knees way either.
on their knees, bound, being tortured.
Yeah.
It's a gruesome scene, and the man standing before them is Wolf. Brinley is there frozen, watching, having fallen to her knees. She hears someone crying and realizes it's her. Kai hears her and then gets Wolf's attention, who turns and sees Brinley as Mason shoots one of the men, killing him. Brinley screams and runs. Brinley runs through the woods, Wolf
Fair.
following.
I would also sprint through the woods.
He catches her. Again, surprise, surprise. She tries to fight, but he surrounds her and holds her. She says that they murdered those innocent men. Wolf explains that one is still alive, that they are sending him back as a message. And he was the one that set the bomb, you know, that she was there for. And the other one raped Mason's kid sister to get back at them for a business choice. And not only did he rape her, but he videotaped it and shared it. This child. Brinley is relaxing in his hold, and he's massaging her chest and throat, trying to calm her. And then he starts to kiss down her neck and shoulders. He rips off her underwear, naturally. Wolf tells Brinley she just witnessed club business. So she has two options: die in the woods or become his in the woods.
I
He,
pick option number two.
because don't forget, this is a crystal story.
Until certain things happen, and then I was like, God damn it.
Wolf yanks down her dress and bites her nipple, telling her he has no idea why he can't get her out of his head, why he wants her so much, why he is even giving her the option to be his. He fucks her with his fingers, then he pulls his knife out and fucks her with the handle, telling her that he needs her to crave him the same way he does her. She says she doesn't want to die.
Fair.
I mean, he tells her to come then and say his name, that
Okay.
his name is Gabriel. She does a few times there. He pulls the knife out, having cut his hand holding the blade, and then he pushes his blood into her, smearing it all over her, saying that now he lives inside her. Then he kisses her, which we learned at the beginning that he doesn't kiss anyone. The catty girls in the beginning were all chatty about it. He tells her to do what he says so that she can stay alive and turns to walk back through the woods. She follows. He leads her to the cabin that he's staying in. He tells her she has to stay with him until he can make sure that she's safe and clear shit up, knowing that his men expected her not to live after that. He has her shower and clean up while he watches, of course, and then he has her get on her knees to service him. He has a ladder, which
And not a
admittedly she's
ladder that we
intrigued.
climb on, but also kind of a ladder
Can
you
I
want to
climb
climb
on
on.
it? Yeah, like, hold on.
We all know how Ariel feels about a ladder.
Yeah. She also is intrigued, so she does his bidding. He fucks her face as he instructs her to get herself off too. Just as they both finish, there's a knock on the cabin door with a voice saying that they have all of her belongings to get rid of. Gabriel has her put back on her dress and he opens the door. Jake seems very confused to see her there, alive. Gabriel gives her the bag and tells her to go put on fresh clothes and goes to talk with Jake outside. Brinley hears some of their conversation from the porch that the men are doing cleanup and Jake making sure that she's taken care of since she obviously is the type that will make trouble. Gabriel says he's handling it. Jake thinks he's playing with his food. Brinley throws up. Yeah, she ends up crying and just going to bed as Gabriel goes and meets up with his men where they are disposing of the body. They start peppering him with questions about Brinley and why she's not dead yet. He immediately quiets them, saying, yes, she is an accessory, but she's his accessory, his responsibility. They quiet, knowing the boss has spoken, and it is what it is. He recognizes internally, though, that he is too selfish to kill her.
Well, yeah.
Brinley wakes to Gabriel watching her from a nearby chair. He makes them coffee, and she asks what he's going to do with her now. He tells her he isn't sure yet. Brinley asks if Layla knows about all their extracurriculars. He tells her the men usually either tell their women everything or nothing, depending on their preference, and the women. Brinley surmises that Layla doesn't know anything. Gabriel nods. She
Sorry.
says,
Side note, when you said surmises, all that reminded me of is the Taylor Swift song. If she's got blue eyes, I will surmise that you'll probably date her. And it just like, why? Because I just listened to the song yesterday. Anyway,
gotcha.
sorry.
When you said it back to me, all I thought, weirdly enough, was like in the holiday time with like Frosty the Snowman stuff, and you have like Mr. Cold Miser and like
Yeah.
the Heat Miser and stuff. I don't know why, but the misers, that's all that got me in the head when I said, when you said, sir. And then
And
that
there's your
song, when they do the duet, was like playing in my head. So you're welcome for that.
and there's your clip for
I'm
TikTok,
Mr.
Ariel.
Heat Miser. That was playing in my head. So you're welcome, ADHD. Thank you for that. Why
Sweet
are we so
Jesus.
triggered?
One word set me off, and then that set off the whole thing. Anyways,
She says if it were her, she would want to know everything. He tells her to go meet with Layla for breakfast while he showers, and then he will join her after he checks in with his men. He tells her Chris will walk her down to breakfast. Brinley meets up with Layla and the girls at breakfast, but is overwhelmed. She asks to talk to Layla. They go to the bathroom. Layla asks if she saw something that scared her. I mean, the girls realize that she's not in her room. They realize something must have happened. Also, Brinley looks freaked out. Brinley asks if she really doesn't know what goes on. Layla says that there's a difference between asking and knowing. I mean, she is a woman, after all. Most women know things whether you want them to or not. Brinley tells Layla about Wolf saying he was keeping her, that to stay with him or die. Layla is like, fuck. Wolf doesn't keep people. That Brinley needs to do what he says for now. They are interrupted by a couple women coming into the restroom, chattering of plans to get with Gabriel.
Hell fucking no, bitch. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Even making comments to Brinley, calling her Sandra D, because she clearly, in their eyes, don't belong at this biker place.
Punch the bitch. I'll show you Sandra D. Sorry. It's Sandy now, bitch. Leather pants and
I
all.
just
Sorry.
wanted to sing the whole time, so, there's that. Brinley makes her way back to the table, and sure enough, he's sitting there next to her spot. Gabriel gives her a plate, telling her to eat. She's not hungry and acts like a brat, but he insists she not test him. She picks her battles, noting the horrified faces around her at her refusal from his men. One of the chicks from the bathroom, the one that was calling her Sandra, shoots her shot at Gabriel at another chance with him because apparently they had a thing one time, but Gabriel has never done seconds previously. But Gabriel defers to Brinley. Brinley tries to act like she doesn't care until the girl makes another remark at her, and then Gabriel has to tell her to leave. Then the men have things to do. Gabriel tells Brinley to ride back with the women and start packing her stuff. Brinley arrives home to men working on her porch. Later, Gabriel arrives and she tells him that she isn't leaving. He sees she's choosing the hard way. I mean, that is a choice. He tells
But
her
but the thing is the hard way fun.
he tells her to run.
Okay.
She's confused. She's not like Crystal. She's confused in this moment.
Okay, here's the thing. She would have been like me if this had taken place like over a year ago. But now I'm so beyond broken that I'm like, okay, how far and how fast do you want me to run?
Oh,
Where am
thank
I
fuck
going?
your
This in
mother
that
doesn't
car?
listen to these, so she can't
My
fully.
mother wants to because she wants us to cover one of the books she bought me for Christmas.
Tell her no, because then she will finally be able to blame me for corrupting you like she did when we were teens.
I think
Now she'll
she's
know
learned
it's
by
my
now
fault.
it's me.
But now she'll know it's my fault.
Okay, but that part is your fault. The rest of it's all
Exactly.
me.
I know. But she won't know that. She'll just be, I knew it. I was right.
That bitch.
Gabriel tells her that he will give her a head start, that she better hide well, because when he catches her, he will fuck her, and then she will truly belong to him. Run, he tells her again. And she takes off, running through the house, up the stairs to a panel she knows is a secret entrance to an old attic storage room. Fortunately, slash unfortunately, Gabriel is smart and very aware of his surroundings and notices the little things and has a great gut sense. So it doesn't take him long to find her. When he does, he thrusts her up against the wall as she tries to fight him off. He pulls out his knife and she stops flailing. He cuts her clothes off and spanks her ass before spinning her around to kiss her. He unzips his pants, hoists her up, and fucks her against the wall. After they finish, he carries her down to the bathroom to get her cleaned up, noticing in the bathroom mirror her scratched and bleeding back from the old attic wall. Not too happy
Oops.
about that. Yeah. She's not that mad, though. He turns on the shower, undresses, and gets them both under the hot spray, cleaning her up. After which, he gets down and eats her out. When their shower is over, they find a bottle of Brinley's father's old liquor and drink and talk. Brinley asks a little about his scars, and Gabriel tells her how they bring in drugs illegally for their clinics to help people. She thinks he's like Robin Hood. She totally misjudged him. Like, star eyes, starships were meant to fly. Okay. They both drink quite a bit, and Brinley lays in bed falling asleep while Gabriel has a crisis in his mind about how too deep he feels. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He gets dressed. He gets dressed, reminds her that he owns her, and then just leaves. Brinley doesn't see any sign of Gabriel over the next week. Her porch is almost finished, though, and she has been able to start the job at the home place with Dell. She is enjoying it, even though it's not originally what she was used to doing, but she seems to have a motorcycle stationed nearby her work each day. She's assuming that the club is just keeping an eye on her, making sure that she isn't talking. She learns that she's wrong, though, when she gets a view of the jacket coming back from a lunch date with Layla. He's from the rival club. Gabriel is having a meeting with his members because of the rival club, DOS. They are amping things up. They are interrupted by bricks flying through the windows, like they knew exactly where they would be meeting and when they would be meeting. Winky dink. I don't think so. I think you
I
have a
think not.
mole. The bricks have photos attached of members and their significant others, or other important women and children in their lives. One of the bricks has photos of Brinley, one that has a red X drawn across her face. Layla had pulled her phone out and dialed Sean so he could hear her tell Brinley who that man was and that they should hurry inside. The man stops them and asks for a word. He explains they've always watched each other as rivals. And as this is the first time the president seems to have taken an interest, that in turn has piqued their interest. The women try to tell him Brinley was just a one night stand. He says, nope. Dell comes out, though, and asks if all is well, and the biker leaves with an ominous, be seeing you. Once inside, Brinley gets a text from Gabriel saying to stay there, and before they know it, the sound of Harleys descend upon them. Gabriel is through the door first, telling her she's done for the day, that a prospect will drive her car home. She gets on Gabriel's bike, and he brings her to her house where he tells her to pack, that she's staying with him so he can keep her safe. She goes full scale brat being told what to do, plus his radio silence all week. He tells
I
her,
also would go full scale brat though.
yeah,
Just just saying.
he tells her it isn't a game and it's not up for negotiation, that she's going whether she packs or not. He tried to stay away, thinking it would help her be safe, but he came to her house each night while she was sleeping. Creeper. He needs to make sure she's safe now, so she needs to pack. She ends up packing a bag, and he's careful as he brings her to his home that no one knows about to make sure that they're not followed. They end up banging in Gabriel's see through Batcave fortress, though, so that's cool. And later, he has her put the other members in her phone so that she can contact them if need be, and tells her how he will have to come and go for work, but she is to stay there. She reminds him that she has to work too. He wants her to stay, but ends up relenting if she agrees that a member can stand guard outside her work. While she's at the house, though, he wants to train her self defense skills. The next night they begin, starting with learning how to shoot a gun and then weight training and defense against attacks. Things get a little
Defense
too
against the dark arts.
I almost
Sorry.
said that. That's why I got tripped up because I almost just naturally kept going.
Who are we today? Who determined this today?
Oh my God.
That's okay. I almost just fell out of my chair.
Yeah, it's been a day. Things get a little too heated with the hand to hand. So after a water break, Gabriel leads her to the back gate, opens it, and tells her to run from her attacker. Brinley runs. It isn't too long before he catches her, brings her to her hands and knees, tearing her bottoms off and burying his face into her from behind. Then he fucks her roughly there on the ground.
Sounds like a really fun time to me.
Right? 3 weeks of hardcore training later, and Brinley, even though she has made major progress, is still trying to be able to move Gabriel's massive body off of her against his will. They've spent weeks with Gabriel working and coming home to train with Brinley, and then that ends up leading to sex, and then they end up talking in bed every night, getting to know each other, so fun times. He answers and is honest about things when asked, but he hasn't disclosed that he put an air tag in her car. But it's okay. She put she put one in his boot as payback because two can play at that game. She hasn't actually checked it yet,
Fair.
but just knowing that she could is enough for her,
That's enough for me.
right? Layla has been telling Brinley about the big biker rally coming up, and Brinley tells Gabriel that she wants to come, not knowing his crew has been planning to strike at their rival's president at the event and be able to keep all their people safe. Gabriel tells her no, but doesn't explain any of this. She tells him she's going and he can't stop her. He says to just eat her dinner. She tells him no.
Watch him. You can't stop me. Watch me.
Yeah. She tells him no. She will eat when he isn't telling her she can't go places. Gabriel grabs some twine and takes her wrists and ties her hands behind her back, telling her there is no wasting food in his house. He has some food issues from his past
She bratted a little too close to the sun.
and that she will eat. She tries spitting out the bite he gives her, but he yanks the twine tighter around her wrists until she eats. This part, honestly, not a fan. I was not here for this. Just saying.
The
But
rest of
she,
it, sure.
sure,
But
absolutely. This
was I
one
on the fence
scene,
with the knife? Yes, but
but I
it is
understood what the point was and that that was his thing. This one
right.
scene, no
Yeah.
thank you. This one scene could have been deleted for me.
Lead
But
it from your mind. It's not
yes.
there. What scene?
But Brinley decides to play it up and turn it around, acting all sensual with each bite until he's unzipping his pants and shoving his dick in her mouth, which again, nope, not for me. I'm just, nope, thank you. That's all you're getting. Bye. He comes and unties her, telling her that she can go to the rally. I'm only telling you this because it's important to the story. Bare minimums here. But they will have to prepare. And I was hoping that she only did all this to wait until he was asleep and then take the fuck off after that performance. But no, that would have been slightly redemption for me. But no, but no,
But no.
but no.
But no.
Number one on the preparation list, shooting with people in the field. So if necessary, she isn't afraid to use the gun safely. Brinley does end up grazing Gabriel in the arm, but he is happy when they are done and she gets to learn to stitch a wound. The biker rally is bigger and cooler than Brinley imagined. They get their cabin all ready, and then the ladies hit a bar while the men meet with another club that has also been having problems with the DOS club. They agree to help the Hounds of Hell and turn the DOS members over to them if they can have their product and territory. They all agree and part ways just as Sean checks his phone. They need to go check on the girls. Trouble at the bar. Seems that trashy girl from a while back that was making fun of Brinley and then hitting on Gabriel, even though Brinley was clearly with him, is there. She's back at it, calling Brinley Sandra D and what a goody two shoes and how she will be gone tomorrow. Brinley tries to stick up for herself, telling her that they're not just for the night and to get her name right, calling that girl a bitch. The girl pushes her and Brinley snaps, punching her right in the face. Chris,
Honestly, she did it way too late. I would have punched that bitch in the face a long time ago.
Well, Chris also kept telling her no and no and no. But Chris, her
Don't
designated
care.
sitter, pulling her off of her. Gabriel arrives, tells the girl he doesn't even remember her, and if she speaks to Brinley again, he will have Brinley really go at her and she won't even recognize her own face. Then he scoops Brinley up, muttering how he only left her for 30 freaking minutes. And then he hauls her back to their cabin, but he finds it locked. Apparently, Brinley thought she needed to lock it, and Gabriel didn't grab her bag. So he puts her on his motorcycle and pulls off her underwear. He starts to finger her, despite her protests about being on her period. That just apparently fuels him more, and he picks her up so he can sit on the bike himself and pulls her down on his waiting cock. He tells her he can't change who he's been with, but he only wants to be with her moving forward. That she's his and he's hers. And then he fucks her on his bike when they get
On her
back.
period. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
He has a thing for blood. Weird. And it's a
Uh,
different kind of blood for me. I don't know.
I just
It's not the same.
it's not the same. I still like
Smells different. It feels different. It's not the same.
I
It's,
don't like it.
yeah. Nope.
Mm-mm. No, thank you.
Nope.
People like be like, I'll do it. I'm like, absolutely fucking no, thank you.
Okay. I'm not against doing anything. I'm just saying I'm not going to do that in public on a bike and have it be like everywhere.
I'm not doing it in public and I'm not doing it in private because no, thank you.
If I was home, I wouldn't care. But
It grosses me out.
so yeah, when they get back home from the rally, Brinley tells Gabriel that she wants to stay with him, that she wants to sell the house. He asks if she really thought he was going to even let her leave. I mean, true story, bro. She says in staying, he needs to be transparent. She wants to know it all and know that they can trust each other. Gabriel tells her that he and Jake plan to get explosives that night to take out the DOS clubhouse. Jake is the one who helped get the contract. Jake is his cousin, actually. He's his vice president, but he's really doesn't really have his life together. He's kind of a just coasting dude. It was actually his father that was the president before Wolf.
I was gonna say there's a reason why Wolf is
Right. It was real
president and not
Presidente.
Jake and
Presidente.
not Jake.
Yeah, it was Jake's father that was president before Wolf, but at the time that he was going to step down, Jake was really heavy into drugs and just not really into it. And Wolf was the responsible one, even though Wolf's father was a deadbeat too. He was just,
Yeah.
yeah. So Jake's father really mentored him and was there for him. And Jake seemed really cool with it like the whole time. So nobody ever had hard feelings. Like, and he's been his VP. Everything's, cool. So as his VP, which has allowed him to just kind of stand back a little bit and just kind of be that more chill and do the things he wants. So, best of both worlds here. As his VP, he does kind of find those little shadier deals though, because he has those connections. So he's the one who got this explosives connect. Gabriel tells her that after that, their next step will be taking out the president of the DOS club to assure their people are safe. Brinley tells him that when things settle down, she would like to use the money from her house to open her own interior design store. Later that night, Gabriel goes with Jake to meet the explosives guy. It goes south, though, when it turns out Jake is betraying them. He takes a pipe and knocks Gabriel out with it. Dun dun
After we just
dun.
said, Jake's pretty dope.
Yeah, Gabriel thought that his whole life, till this moment.
Yep.
Brinley is worried. Gabriel is late. He is never late. He's also not answering her texts and calls. She pulls up his AirTag location for the first time. It says that he's at St. Henry's cabin. Weird. Brinley starts to go through the list of club members trying to call them. No one is answering. Gabriel told her that if he was ever going to be late for any reason, he would let her know. So she is panicking. It's almost 4 a.m., but she gets dressed, grabs her gun, and heads for Gabriel's location. Gabriel is in and out of consciousness. Jake keeps waking him up with water or pain, trying to break something, wanting information on his money accounts. He's also doing a lot of drugs in between. Jake doesn't agree with them helping people get clean and thinks that they should be moving product for profit like their rivals. The rival president, Marco, is there with Jake, snorting lots of coke. Jake is also going on and on about how Gabriel took his rightful claim as president, even though he had never expressed wanting that. Marco, the DOS president, is done with all that talk. Clearly, it's not working. He picks up some barbed wire to take to Gabriel. Brinley parks at the end of the road to the place, planning to walk in because she doesn't know the situation and wants to be careful. Just as she parks, Sean calls her back. She tells him the whole story. He tells her that they are on their way. Brinley neglected to tell him she was already there, but she doesn't want to waste time waiting for them. Brinley sets off for the cabin. She gets there and feels relief seeing Jake pass a window until she hears the horrific cry from inside of Gabriel in pain. And then she gets to the window and sees him. Gabriel is strung up by his arms, bleeding and beaten and torn up all over. A man with a DOS cut is scraping his skin off while Jake just stands there. Brinley puts her phone on record and leans it up against the window while she plans her attack. Brinley goes to the open door, locks eyes with Gabriel, and shoots Marco. Then she goes through the door and aims at Jake, telling him not to touch his weapon. He's an idiot who can't talk his way out of a paper bag and tries to tell her that she's going to go to jail if she shoots him. Brinley tells him all.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jake. Okay.
Brinley tells him all, oh, bless your heart style, that her man is good at hiding bodies. Like, boy, you knew? Gabriel tells Jake this is why he isn't the president. He isn't good under pressure. Brinley is watching Jake nervously, waiting for a shot. He is hiding behind Gabriel, and she doesn't want to move quick and give him a chance to grab his gun. Gabriel goads him, though, forcing Jake to move forward, giving Brinley her shot. She shoots him in the arm to knock away the gun, but as he goes to the floor, he grabs Brinley's ankle and yanks her down. Jake gets on her, pinning her down, choking her. Brinley trained for this. She knows what to do. She gets him off her, grabs her gun, and shoots him. And then she keeps shooting him until she runs out of bullets. Gabriel walks Brinley through cutting him down. He asks how she found him. She tells him about the air tags. He just laughs. She tells him that she loves him. He tells her that doesn't even begin to describe how he feels. She is life for him. Sean interrupts, yelling, "What the fuck?" from the doorway. Gabriel tells them that they are late and he hopes that they brought shovels. Gabriel gets patched up and his men bury the bodies. Gabriel meets with his crew to tell them all. He even shows them Brinley's video, though they didn't need it. He tells them that he has a meeting with Marco's brother, the DOS VP, to talk about patching over their people. He asks Sean to take over as his VP. He dismisses the group and tells Sean and Kai to get ready for the meet. Gabriel finds Brinley as he walks into the main part of the clubhouse. He hands her a cut of her own that says "Property of Wolf" and "Wolf's Queen" on it. Brinley puts it on. He can't help himself but whisk her into a bathroom to play with her a little and put a plug inside her for later. Then he has to go. The two rivals meet with their representatives with them. Gabriel talks with Aiden, the brother, who is not a fan of his brother or his choices. Gabriel agrees not to patch them over if Aiden takes over and calls a truce and leaves their clinics alone. Gabriel tells him about their ally club so Aiden can work with them and better his club and production, and everybody's winning, so Gabriel doesn't, have issues with that. They agree and shake hands. Gabriel heads right back to his woman and fucks her with the plug still in, and then he takes it out and fucks her ass. And then we go to 2 weeks later, and Brinley has the house on the market. Her father's truck is done, and it's beautiful, and she's not selling it. Gabriel surprises Brinley with her own interior design storefront. And then we skip to 17 and a half years later. They have two sons, one almost 17 and one almost 15, and a daughter who just turned 14. Gabriel and Brinley have been married for 15 years, and that is our story.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, who is your favorite character?
Hmm. Really did like Damien. Damien? Nope, Gabriel. That's a word. That's his actual name. Why did I say Damien?
No the fuck idea.
I did like Gabriel. Yeah. Yeah. How about
Yeah.
you?
Layla? Maybe Layla.
Okay. Layla was fun.
What about your least favorite?
Jake.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Cause like, bruh, really?
what about her boyfriend from the beginning? Brinley's boyfriend from the
Oh,
beginning.
that douchebag?
Yeah.
Okay. I think okay, so I'm gonna go with the two of them.
I'm gonna say him.
Okay. Sounds great.
So, for our nope, never mind.
Never mind.
I forgot what goes next.
Ariel. Amazon gives us a 4.4 and Goodreads a 4.2.
What did you rate it?
You gave it a 4. I had a fabuloso time.
I also gave it a 4.
Oh my
I
God.
had a decent time too. I had a good time. Like I said, just that one scene I would have taken out. And there was that other one little thing where I was confused. Were they not supposed to leave the premises? Were they allowed to leave the premises? You know,
Yeah.
that one little weird thing. But yeah, overall, I was here for it.
Yeah, samesies. Love that for us.
Yeah.
So do you want to
So
do what's next now?
for our pepper scale, I am going to go for a Serrano. We had multiple scenes. We had a little extra, little something extra because we had a piercing and we had
We
some
had
anal
a
play. We had a
knife.
knife. Yeah.
We
So,
apparently had some twine somewhere in there. That doesn't
yeah. I mean,
exist.
it might even be a Serrano. Well, yeah, Serrano. If most of the scenes weren't in his POV, I would probably say it was a Serrano point 0.5. But
Yeah. So I'm gonna go obviously same. We're gonna Serrano it up, baby.
Serrano it up.
Which is great. I
Wow.
think this has been the spiciest one we've done so far.
Yes.
So that's
Which,
nifty.
woohoo.
Love
Um,
that for
when
us.
Crystal gets her shit together, we will be able to,
Listen,
let's
my
put it on the
life
wall.
my life is finally turning itself around.
Woo, woo,
To
woo.
anyone who has listened to me bitch and complain about how much my life has been in the garbage can, guess what? It's slowly turning around. So
Turn
I will have my
around.
every now and then. Sorry.
Every now and then it falls apart.
Every now and then I fall apart,
No, your life falls apart.
and I
Uh,
need you now tonight.
survivability.
I'd be fine.
I
Sorry.
also would be fine.
I would have a grand time.
I think I would also have a grand time.
Mm-hmm. I would have a
Um,
grand old time.
yeah, so, oh, what a way to start March. Let's find out what is coming next.
Okay, are you ready? Let's see what we're doing to continue.
Let's see if our lives turn around with what book we're going to read
I don't even
next.
know. God damn. You ready? Let's see what happens.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Oh, fuck. I think this is mine.
I don't think that's a good sign when it literally is titled Cry for Help.
Oh, is it looking at
Just
my actual
saying.
life right now? Is that I'm going for a cry for help? Listen,
I
I
don't think that's a good sign.
listen, why is the wheel? Okay, so this week, next week
Next week.
is going to be Cry for Help, which is a standalone reverse harem paranormal romance, which is a my pick. Are you ready?
I gotta mute myself. I'm dying over here.
Welcome to the Red City. You belong to the demons now. Ariel's dying. Unable to speak a word and convicted of a crime she didn't commit, Maddie is given the chance to live out her prison time in the Red City. Knowing that anything is better than a life behind bars, she doesn't hesitate. They were lower demons, barely able to scrape together enough cash to join the auction, until the defective and cheap Maddie comes along to answer their prayers. Her masters aren't the most powerful or prestigious, but that doesn't matter. Maddie has a secret. There's a reason she must never speak. There are people she must protect at all costs. Will her new masters handle Maddie with care, or will they fail her like everyone else? Yes, it is a standalone reverse harem paranormal romance and it contains scenes of MFM. What? Oh, good lord. Two of them can keep a secret. One of them is dead. Funny. Have you seen the Duolingo posts all over TikTok? I'm dying. I am quite literally dying. Just so you know, you're still muted.
Oh, that's why you had no idea what I was saying.
Can't wait for you to see that back. I'm like, what?
I was like, because two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Yeah. Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Oh,
So,
oh my
we're
God.
gonna go straight from an MC romance to a paranormal romance
Paranormal.
called Cry for Help. And that is not me
Ariel's gonna
reaching
be
out.
crying for help.
That is not me reaching into the universe crying for actual help. I was doing that in January. It's not what I'm currently doing. We have to laugh about it or else we die. So
Well,
there's that. Anyways,
at least we're giving you some interesting books to read.
here is some
Um,
content for you guys to enjoy while our lives are falling apart. We want to make sure
Imploding.
your lives are doing better.
Yeah.
Don't live our lives.
Well, yeah.
With that,
With that, make sure to keep reading.
and keep it smutty.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.